Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Today, we're going to do a whiskey smoker. Getting ready for some craft shows, and it's one of them pieces that I've sold last year. Sold quite a few, so I thought I'd make some more of them. So I'm going to demonstrate how I make a whiskey smoker. But let's get a little housekeeping done first. Welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Please feel free to share, subscribe, and like. My name is Paul Courtwright, and let's share these videos. Try to get this channel to grow some more, and hit that little like button, and that helps the algorithm for YouTube, and get a little bit more action out of these videos. So let's get started on it. But it's basically what we got is a block of this is curly maple. So we're going to make a whiskey smoker out of this, and we're going to do a little turning today on the lathe. So let's go over and get started on the lathe, and I'll show you what we got and how we're going to go about doing it. So hang tight. All right, so we're at our lathe here. I got my drive in, tailstock in. I'm going to take the thing, and I found my center, and we're going to put that between centers, and we're going to make it round. So just to check and see how close I am. There. All right. All right. So we got her between centers, and I'm going to take and use my skew, and we'll make it round. So here we go. Face shield on, and here we go. All right. Skew 40. All right. Let's give it a quick sharpen just to be safe. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm just going to go make this round. I'm going to go from the outside and go in. Round. Okay, hang on, the camera's moving on me. Hang on one second. All right, we got her. Just had to adjust the legs on it. Here we go. I'm recording. Yes. Yep. I have a tendency to hit the pause button and stops recording, and then you miss something. I don't want you to miss anything, so I made these a year ago, and they seem to sell pretty good. We're going to make some more for our next craft show, which is a couple weeks in Delaware. So this is about a 4.5 inch square block of wood. Okay, just for the sake of doing this, some people don't like to use a skew, so we're going to use a bull gouge, and we'll drop it down. I'll show you what we get with that. So this is using a bull gouge. And you can do it it with a dough gouge or a skewer. I tend to like using a skewer. Let me get the other bowl gouge here. Yeah, that one must not be very sharp. We just want to get it around. We want to put a spigot or a tenon on the end down here. How close are we to being round? Pretty close. Okay. One flat spot there. All right. Go a little bit more. Now I need to put a spigot on the end of this to grab it with my chuck. I'm using my Bourbon here. Alright. Now that we got a spigot on there, it's not quite square. Need to square it up just a hair. There we are. All right. So let's put this on the in the chuck, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back, and I'll have it in the chuck. So hang tight. All right. So we got her in the chuck. All right. I'm gonna put my tailstock up just for the sake of putting it up. And this is going to be the top, and then that'll be the base of it. So we're going to make sure we're nice and round here, and get my pencil here, and I'll kind of explain what we're going to do. So this will be the top, so it'll probably be about that thick. So I'm going to put a mark all the way around, and then this, excuse my drawings here, will come up, and there'll be a spot there, and it'll come down, and it'll come up like that. So it'll look something like that. And then we'll go through and put holes down here for the smoke to come out. We got to cut this, the top part here, and we have this here has to be inserted into that. So we got to cut a hole in here. But first of all, I want to clean this up just a little bit and figure out kind of where we're at. All right, so we got that. All right, so I'm going to grab my face shield here, and I'm looking for is wheel. Where you at? That's one of them I'm looking for. There it is. And these two. All right. So I got my skew here, and I want to clean this edge up a little bit more, make that nice and smooth, and then we'll get into that. So I'm going to make this edge nice and smooth. So all I really wanted to do there. You can see that's nice and cleaned up and real nice. So I want to come down here and let's get this face cleaned off. So I guess my tailstock is in the way. Let's move this out of the way and slide our tool rest around. And we need hang tight. I'm going to switch out my bowl gouge here. So we got our fresh bowl spindle gouge on there, and we're going to clean up this face a little bit. And we're going to cut a hole in there. All right, I'm going to round this over just a hair. And what I want to do is I want to indentate this a little bit. So I'm going to cut off about right there. And a little bit more. Just want a little bit of a shoulder there. Okay, so that takes care of that part. Now what we got to do is we got to drill that out in the center. So let's get our drill bit. And we can do this with a bowl gouge. All right, so we want to cut this piece out in the center here, and this piece is how big? It is roughly, let's see here, it is about 1.25 inches. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut about 1.25 inches, like a little pocket in that. So I got the caliper set for about 1.25 inches. When you do this, you just don't want to touch that side there. So I usually just take it and somewhere right in there. Okay. So we're going to, all right, here we go. Get my tailstock out of the way. What they call Turner's elbow. Hang tight. I'm going to give you a better look and better view of what I'm trying to do. So hang tight. All right. Now we got a better view for you. Now you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going from there. So I want to clean that out. see how close we are. I don't think we're even near there. Okay, go a little deeper in the center there. We'll be in good shape. Okay, so we're getting there. Okay, let's see where we're at. Pretty close. So I'm going to switch over to my Easy Wood tool. This one here. And I'm going to go in. The Easy Wood tool, you have to keep it level. That's why I've got this level on there. When I teach classes or teach people how to use these, I keep the level on there for that reason. And the neat thing about these, especially this one, is it's got a cutting edge all the way around, so it doesn't matter where I put it, I can get a decent cut off of it. Okay, still got to go a little deeper. Our width or the size of the hole is in good shape. Now we just got to go deeper. Okay, that I hope has it. Pretty good. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to figure out where the outside piece of this is. So I'm just basically put me a mark in there. Okay, and now we need to clean this edge up. Okay, so I want to taper that just a hair as I'm doing this. So I want to this, actually, I got this little tool. It's like a combination skew and a bowl, spindle gouge. I don't think I'm deep enough, but let's see how close we are. Yeah, not deep enough. Yeah, just a little bit more. Let's straighten up that edge. That should be deep enough for that. Let's find out. Yes. So now I got to go deeper in the hole here. That's what makes it nice. I got a thick piece of wood here that I can work with. All right. Got a little bit of a nubbin in the bottom, but that's pretty good right there. We're not touching anywhere around, so that takes care of that part of it. So there's that, and that fits in there like so. Okay. So we're good there. Okay, I'm gonna clean that little nubbin out of the bottom, and then we'll leave it at that. There. All right. So that takes care of that part. So now what I'm gonna do is flip it around and grab this with my chuck so I can do the base of it. So.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I think we're in good shape. Do just a hair of cleanup on that. So that, let's use this. All right. It's not giving me much to deal with there, but I think that looks good. I'm going to do a little sanding on that, and I'll be right back. So you don't want to watch me sand, so I'm going to pause you for a second. All right, so I just did a little bit of a sanding job on that, nothing major. Clean up that edge, and we're good. So now I want to turn this around. So that's our top there. Got it good there. So we're going to turn it around, and I'm going to grip the inside of it with my jaws. And there's not much of a talent or a mortise there to grab a hold of, so I got to be very careful putting this on there. There. All right. And I'm going to bring my tailstock up just for extra support so that, because I don't have a very big grip on that. And that's all right because that'll hold that in place, and then we'll shape this. All right. So we know that this here is like 1 1/4 inches, so we don't want to go down much more than that. So I'm going to put a mark on the base of there, about what that is, so we know. So I want to stay inside, the outside of that right there. So that's what I want to go with, right there. Make sure that's correct. Yeah, that gives us a little bit of room. Okay, so now we're going to shape this. All right, so I need is a face shield, my bowl gouge, or my spindle gouge, and I want to go down just a little bit right there, and I'm going to shape this around that way. So all this material will be gone. taper it just a hair so it will center itself on the glass. That's general. So I need to figure out the width of this. So it's there. Oh, I got plenty of room. Okay. Take a little bit more off of there. Clean that up just a hair more. And then we'll be just about done with this part. So that was a pretty good cut. Okay, let's see where we're at. That was a real nice cut. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to finish this off. Still might take a little bit off of that. Yeah, just take a little bit more off of this here, right in this area. So, still not happy with it. So, I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to take my tailstock out of the way and we're going to clean that up, clean the base of it up, and then we got to drill some holes. Okay, clean that up, tool rest up just a hair. Okay, I'll clean this base up. Okay. Okay. All right, I'll do a little sanding, and then we'll lay out our spot for our holes. So let's hang tight there on that, and we'll be right back. All right, so now what we got is this. Okay, so we want to drill a hole here, and then basically there, down here, here, here. Then we want to split the difference there. Go there, go there, go there, and there. And these don't have to be perfect. And I just usually split the difference in there. Okay, so I got my holes laid out. So I got drill here. I think this is a 1/8" drill bit. I'll just drill one right down the middle. Okay. And then we drill these down the middle. Notice I'm drilling them on a little bit of an angle. They don't have to be perfect. And then I come in from the side, drill my holes in the side. And again, I'm drilling them on a little bit of an angle. Naturally, my battery's going to run out. Get another battery here. And we'll keep drilling. Okay, I'm going to hit that with a little bit of sandpaper. So I'll get rid of them there. There we are. Now let's take her off and look at her and see what it looks like. Okay. That's what the inside looks like, and I need to, I guess I should have done a little bit more of an angle, but that's all right. Yeah. So we're going to drill these holes out just a hair more. Okay, as you can see, the outside looks real good, but the inside, all my holes are down at the bottom. So I'm going to try to get a couple holes up in here. So I'm going to drill right up in this area here. So we're going to put this back on there. And I'm going to put 4 holes up in this area. So I'm going to go here. This just gives it more smoke, is all. Okay. And all right, hit it with a little sandpaper. All right, let's see what it looks like. I think that should do it. Oh yeah. So now we got a couple holes up to the top and quite a bit of holes down at the bottom, which is fine because the smoke will go down through there. No big deal. So this part here sits in there like so. Put your wood chips in there. You take a torch, burn your wood chips, and it'll push the smoke in there. But we have to make a lid for it. So let's make a lid for it. So hang tight and I'll get that blank for you and show you what we got. All right, so here, got my blank in there. That's what it looks like. This is going to be my lid. I'm going to try to get this as centered as possible. Yeah. All right. So basically what I want to do is I want to put a spigot in here so I can grab a hold of this outer edge. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Yeah. All right. So I'll get my Bourbon. That'd be the easiest way to do it. And it is laying somewhere right in front of me. And we're going to put a spigot in there like so. I just want something that I can grab a hold of it with my chuck. And I'm going to stay out here to this outer edge a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it out here because I'm going to taper that anyway, and that'll get rid of that. Put it forward. So I'm just going to take this here off. That should be enough to get me to check. Let's check and see and make sure it's small enough so I can grab it. And obviously not. Okay, so I need to go smaller than that. It's no big deal. That should be small enough. Yep. All right. So we're going to turn this around so we can grab a hold of that. And we'll turn the base of it and put a spigot on this end so we can turn this back around and do the top. So I am going to, in the inside usually I just put a kind of straighten it up, put a little spigot in the inside so I can grab a hold of it, and nothing real fancy. So I'll take care of that. All right. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. All right. Let's make this round. And the other thing I want to do is this here has got to go on top of that. So I need to make sure that I have it wide enough on that to do this. So I want to make this round. Okay. So the other thing I need to do is make this fit in there. I see I got a flat spot right there. I need to go some more. See where we're at. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that takes care of that. So now we need to measure this because that's where I'm going to put my tenant to fit down in there. And this you want to fit fairly loose. So this is the outside. So, okay, that would be that. And let's see here. Okay. Okay. So I want to make a tenant down to that. And this has got to sit inside of that. So I need to carve that out. So I got a small little skew that would be just perfect for the job. And actually, so I'm just going to take a little bit off of that. Okay, let's see if she fits. Ooh, she's a little tight, so I got to go a little wider. Okay, let's see if that fits. Perfect. So now I need to clean up this face and then go a little deeper on that. And I'll use my spindle gouge here. Okay. And I'm going to have to go deeper on that to get this to fit. Yeah, not quite deep enough. So I go deeper here, but I also want to take the center out. So let's go deeper. Use my badan. It's going to be wider anyway. That should be deep enough. Oh yeah, it's a little bit loose, but that's fine. That's what we want. Now I'm going to take that out to concave that. And we'll concave that. You know what? I just realized you guys didn't tell me that. I forgot my face shield. I'm just going to concave this a little bit. There. That's all I want right there. Okay. So that'll fit there just like that. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of sanding on that, and then I'll be right back. And we'll flip it around and finish off the top. All right, so we got our sanding done. Okay. Now we can take it off and flip it around and do the top. So I want to grip the inside. Like so. I'll run my tailstock up to there. There we are. Okay. Nice and tight. And then this I'm just going to shape to, I don't know, my likings. And we'll go from there. Yeah, that won't look too bad. Little tear out right there, but we'll fix that in a second. All right. I'll fix that in a second here. It's too tall. Still a little bit in there, but we'll get that here in a second. I want to clean up this top of the knob. Get that cleaned up, and then we'll clean out our tear out. All right, I think that looks pretty good. We'll do a little sanding and then we'll be right back. Finish it off. So hang tight. All right, so welcome back. As you can see, we got her finished. That's how it looks. And it'll go right on the glass. Put your wood chips in there and do it. So that being said, we're going to finish it with some beeswax finish. It's beeswax and mineral spirits because it's kind of food safe and it's not going to affect the taste of your whiskey or bourbon, as my wife would call them, bourbon smokers. I think I'm not a connoisseur either one, so you know, I know a lot of people are. That's fine. My brother-in-law is a big connoisseur of bourbon, and me personally, I like my Mountain Dew. You've seen that many a times. That's been my drink of choice. But I enjoy making these things, and I give a lot of them away, sell a lot of them, and they're just fun to do. I'm scheduled to do a demo on this, and notice I'm not going to put any down in, well, I might put it down in here, but I'm not going to put it down in that part there, because that's where the smoke would go. And but I'm scheduled to do a demo on it, on doing one of these next year at our wood turning club, Central Iowa Woodturners. And so it ought to be fun. So if you're in the Columbus area next year and you want to see me actually do one in person, you know, feel free to look up Central Iowa Woodturners, and there's a calendar, should be a calendar online that tells you what we're doing and when and all that good stuff. So I'm just giving it a good coat of wax. And this is a piece of curly maple, and I see the curl in it. I think it really looks nice. So that being said, I'll buff this out and we'll be done with it. But I don't think you want to see me buff it. I'm just going to wipe it down good with just with the rag. All right. So there's our whiskey smoker. Put our little thing in there, And there we are. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's been fun to do. I enjoy doing these things. This and pepper mills, it seems like my two favorite things will be turning these here lately. So I enjoy them. Feel free to share, subscribe, like, send this out to your friends, relatives, enemies, whoever. And, if you're interested in purchasing one of these at a craft show, my next craft show will be Delaware Arts Festival in a couple weeks here in May. So stop out and see me and pick yourself up a whiskey smoker. All righty. Well, have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.